In 2014, a rare book valued at $40,000 by Rebecca Romney on Pawn Stars ignited a firestorm when rumors swirled it was stolen, dragging her into a murky FBI investigation about how pilfered treasures ended up on national television. By January 2015, she disappeared from the show. No farewell, no official word, leaving fans bewildered and speculating wildly. Let's peel back the curtain on the hidden drama, the whispers of scandal, and why the truth stayed buried for so long. Born April 6, 1985, in the sun-scorched desert of Phoenix, Arizona, Rebecca Romney never pictured herself handling dusty tomes or million-dollar manuscripts. As a kid, she laughed off old books as relics for gray-haired men, her heart set on philosophy or translating ancient languages, captivated by ideas, debates, and the rhythm of words. At 18, she dove into college, envisioning a life in lecture halls, not auction houses. By 22, she'd mastered 5.5 languages: English, French, Japanese, Latin, Ancient Greek, and a sliver of Old English, through relentless 12-hour study marathons. She stunned professors by translating a 300 BC Greek papyrus for a university exam, acing it with ease. Those skills later became her superpower, letting her spot forgeries that could have bled collectors dry. From 2003 to 2007, she studied philosophy and classical studies at Brigham Young University, grappling with free, and grueling 4-hour seminars and decoding ancient texts in their original forms. She took extra classes, nailed a perfect GPA, and graduated with honors, her thesis dissecting 2nd-century Greek fragments of Plato's Republic. That mix of philosophy and linguistic grit was quietly forging a path to a future no one could have predicted. In 2007, a misstep reshaped her life. Applying for what she thought was a routine management job at Bauman Rare Books in Philadelphia, she walked into the interview and realized it was for a rare book specialist, a field she knew nothing about. Ready to bolt, she stayed, admitted her lack of experience, and landed the gig anyway, her language prowess sealing the deal. Within months, she was handling treasures like a 1623 Shakespeare First Folio, a Gutenberg Bible leaf, and first editions of Isaac Newton's Principia Mathematica. She was thrust into a high-stakes world where one wrong move could cost a fortune. By 2010, at just 26, she was running Bauman's Las Vegas gallery. By 2013, at 29, she became their youngest senior director, overseeing catalogs, auctions, and private sales worth over $10 million annually. She sold a 1472 book for $300,000 and caught fakes that slipped past seasoned experts, earning a reputation as a prodigy in a cutthroat trade. Rick Harrison didn't find her through a TV casting call. Their connection was forged in Vegas's tight-knit antique world. Since 2007, she'd worked at Bauman's Vegas branch, managing it by 2010. Rick, who'd been running gold and silver pawns since 1989, crossed paths with her at local events, bonded by a shared obsession with history. When he needed an expert in paper, books, documents, signatures, he didn't call producers. He dialed Rebecca directly. Her Pawn Stars debut in 2011 wasn't a staged act. She was a trusted ally, handpicked for her expertise. On April 4, 2011, in Season 4, she examined a stack of Civil War-era papers, spotting a forged 1861 Confederate bond signature in under 10 minutes, slashing its value from $10,000 to a few $100. Viewers were hooked, ratings spiked 15%, and she earned the nickname the Book Lady, stealing the show with her calm, razor-sharp analysis. From 2011 to 2020, she appeared in roughly 30 episodes, most actively in the first 4 years, appraising everything from a $2,000 replica of a 1493 Columbus letter to a $15,000 Declaration of Independence broadside. In 2013, She stunned everyone by unearthing Edgar Allan Poe's notes hidden in a worthless manuscript. She handled 19th century slave trade papers, delicately valuing their painful history, and debunked a fake Shakespeare folio that could have cost $10,000. Her unflappable delivery, revealing an 1800s forgery ring or a book's true worth, set her apart. While other experts played up the drama, she stayed steady, explaining million-dollar stakes like she was chatting about lunch. In 2012, she saved Chumley's job when he bought a $500 signed Charles Lindbergh book, bungling the name as Mark. The shop thought it was fake. Rick warned Chumley's next mistake could be his last. Rebecca compared the signature to Lindbergh's evolving autograph, confirming its authenticity and valuing it at $1,500, triple the purchase price, a rare victory. Another time, she examined Revolutionary War bonds, revealing they were Confederate, stolen after 1865, tied to the USS Republic's sunken loot, rediscovered in 2003. Worth $50,000, they risked legal trouble. Her research kept the shop from a lawsuit. A 1623 Shakespeare folio, hyped as $1 million find, was a fake. She spotted wrong paper aging and ink, possibly linked to the 1619 false folio by William Jaggard and Thomas Pavier. Her vigilance saved the shop from a catastrophic loss. A first edition on the origin of species, 1859, was a gem. She verified its green cloth binding, June 1859 ads, and $75,000 value, noting its seismic impact on science and religion, outshining even Copernicus and Newton. A $20,000 Frankenstein first edition in 2014 sparked fan frenzy, earning her book whisperer status and calls for a spin-off. But in 2014, a storm hit. A man brought in a supposed 1841 Book of Mormon, which Rebecca valued at $40,000. Rick bought it for $24,000, but whispers spread it was stolen from the University of Utah's Marriott Library. The FBI reportedly seized it, questioning Rebecca about how stolen books made it to TV. No charges were filed, but Reddit and YouTube exploded with theories, tying the incident to cases like the 2005 to 2006 Forbes Smiley Map thefts. The scrutiny shook her. She'd built a reputation for flawless appraisals, and now her judgment was under fire. On January 10, 2015, she appraised a $1,000 1734 pirate book, her last Pawn Stars episode. No goodbye, no word from History Channel. Fans speculated. Fired over the scandal? A personal tragedy? Show fakery? Curiously, her LinkedIn still lists Pawn Stars, 2011 present, hinting at marketing or a non-disclosure agreement. In 2016, she moved to Philadelphia for a bomb promotion, later working in Brooklyn and Washington, D.C., where she co-founded Type Punch Matrix. The timing, post-scandal, fueled suspicion. Was it just career growth or something else? In 2022, she reappeared on Pawn Stars Do America, appraising another pirate book in D.C., her chemistry with Rick, Chumley, and Corey unchanged, deepening the mystery of her exit. In 2016, she married J.P. Romney, an author and historian distantly tied to Mitt Romney, the 2012 presidential candidate and former Michigan governor's son. They never met Mitt, but the name stirred intrigue. By 2023, they divorced. Rebecca kept the Romney name professionally, but stayed silent on personal details. In 2017, they co-wrote * Printer's Error, Irreverent Stories from Book History *, a 368-page romp through printing's wild past, forged Galileo copies, Dickens's 1840s copyright battles, the Gutenberg Bible's anonymity, 48 surviving copies, worth tens of millions. Critics praised it. It gave her a voice beyond reality TV. She edited a 2020 sci-fi anthology, Projections, keeping focus on the work, not her life. She has 2 children, but their names and ages stay private. In a 2023 Q&A, she dodged fame and relationship questions, letting her work speak. In 2019, she and Brian Cassidy launched Type Punch Matrix in Silver Spring, Maryland, not just another rare bookshop, but a bold disruptor. They dealt in audacious rarities, Shakespeare folios, Gutenberg leaves, radical titles, for elite clients, moving pieces worth hundreds of thousands, even millions. In a field dominated by older men, Rebecca, sharp and fearless, broke the mold. In 2017, she and Heather O'Donnell created the Honey and Wax Book Collecting Prize, awarding $1,000 yearly to women under 30 for creative collections, like a 2023 tattoo artist's botanical hybrids or a 2024 analyst's military-themed set, backed by Biblio and Christie's. By 2025, it had honored 9 women, inspiring countless others to claim their place in the rare book world. On February 18, 2025, her book Jane Austen's Bookshelf dropped, a literary grenade exposing the great forgetting of women writers like Frances Burney and Radcliffe and Charlotte Smith, whose 18th century novels, only 10 to 15% surviving compared to 40% for men, shaped Austen but were erased from history. The New York Times called it sharp and fearless, The Washington Post thrilling, The Guardian electric. It sold 20,000 copies in weeks. Rebecca admitted her own education skipped these women, a revelation that hit hard. She began collecting their rare editions. Burney Evelina, 1778, Radcliffe's Mysteries of Udolpho, 1794, Smith's Emmeline, 1788, hunting through auctions and estates, once outbidding rivals for a 1759 Female Quixote by Charlotte Lennox. Her 50-book collection became evidence of systemic sexism in literature's survival, showing how women's works were less likely to be saved, reprinted, or taught. Radcliffe inspired Poe and Shelley. Burney sold 3,000 copies in the 18th century. Smith shaped Wordsworth, yet all faded into obscurity. Rebecca's work is resurrecting them. In May 2025, she'll lecture at the Grolier Club, America's oldest and most exclusive book collector society, 825 members worldwide, on Jane Austen's bookshelf, Collecting as Investigation. It stems from a 2023 find, a Victorian Evelina by Burney, that sparked her quest to unearth Austen's forgotten influences. She's not just narrating history, she's rewriting it. Since 2015, she's taught at antiquarian book seminars, training over 100 aspiring dealers yearly, exposing the trade's underbelly, like Thomas J. Wise's 1930s forgeries of 50-plus fake first editions that fooled experts for decades. She stresses collecting as uncovering hidden voices, like Burney's 1778 novel, a 500-copy run that laid groundwork for Pride and Prejudice. At Type Punch Matrix, she's revolutionized authentication, using AI and blockchain to trace ownership, like a $50,000 Sylvia Plath manuscript verified back to 1956. Her spectral ink scanners, 95% accurate, caught a fake 1493 Columbus letter in 2024. She's trained over 200 dealers in these tools, plus VR simulations for handling rare books digitally, preserving originals. Her firm, launched with $100,000 in 2019, now appraises over $10 million in items, including a 16th-century manuscript at the 2023 Boston Book Fair and a record 16-hour sale of 2,000 romance novels for $250,000 in 2022. In 2024, she curated an 18th-century Black writers exhibit, pushing overlooked voices into institutional collections. Her museum consulting, now a $2 million a year venture, is reshaping how history is preserved, ensuring forgotten authors like Burney, Radcliffe, and Smith aren't lost again. Rebecca's story didn't begin in a quiet library but under the neon glare of a Las Vegas pawn shop. where her first TV appraisal in 2011 lit a spark. That unlikely start propelled her into the rarefied world of bibliophilia, from Vegas to the Grolier Club. Her work, whether spotting fakes, teaching dealers, or resurrecting erased women writers, proves she's not just a collector but a detective, unearthing truths history tried to bury. Her impact stretches beyond books, challenging who gets remembered and why, with every auction, lecture, and page she turns. Her journey reflects a relentless drive to uncover what's been hidden, from the Vegas pawn shop to the elite halls of book collecting. She's not just preserving history, she's forcing it to confront its gaps. Her 2014 Pawn Stars scandal, tied to the stolen Book of Mormon, tested her resilience, but she emerged stronger, building a legacy that transcends TV fame. Her 2017 printer's error peeled back the curtain on printing's chaotic history, from fake Gutenberg Bibles to Dickens's legal wars, showing her knack for finding stories in the margins. Her 2020 anthology projections proved she could pivot to new genres without losing her edge. The Honey and Wax Prize, launched in 2017, isn't just a contest, it's a movement, empowering women to redefine collecting in a male-dominated field. Her 2025 book, Jane Austen's Bookshelf, isn't just a bestseller. It's a reckoning, exposing how literary history sidelined women like Burney, whose 1778 Evelina sold 500 copies and influenced Austen's wit, or Radcliffe, whose Gothic tales shaped Poe and Shelley but vanished from curriculums. Rebecca's collection of these rare editions, tracked down through fierce bidding wars at auctions, stands as a testament to her mission to resurrect voices silenced by time and bias. Her Grolier Club lecture will cement her as a trailblazer, not just in collecting, but in rethinking how we value literature. At Type Punch Matrix, her use of AI, blockchain, and spectral scanners has dragged rare book authentication into the 21st century, catching fakes like a 1493 Columbus letter that could have fooled lesser experts. Her VR simulations let collectors touch rare books without risking damage, a game changer for preservation. Her firm's rapid growth, from a $100,000 startup to a $10 million powerhouse, shows her business savvy, with deals like the 2022 romance novel sale setting records. Her 2024 Black Writers exhibit and museum consulting, projected to hit $2 million annually, are pushing institutions to embrace overlooked voices, from 18th century poets to modern novelists. Rebecca Romney's story is one of grit, instinct, and defiance, from a Vegas pawn shop to the pinnacle of bibliophilia, proving that the rarest finds aren't just books. They're the truths we uncover when we dare to look deeper.